Welcome to the City Current Radio Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good in our community, and also, too, talking about virtual platforms where you can connect and collaborate. I'm talking about UpSquad. We're joined by our good friend, Kellie Turnage. She is the Director of Sales for UpSquad. And Kellie, how are you doing?
Hey, Jeremy. I am doing wonderful today. It's good to see you.
Absolutely. So you are part of the cityCURRENT family. UpSquad is both a partner. You've been a longtime partner and friend of cityCURRENT. I've known you for what feels like ever. We've had a chance to interview you for our Changemakers podcast for the good you do personally and professionally. And let's dive into this world, though, of UpSquad and give us, from your vantage point, how do you describe UpSquad?
That's a great question. You know, at the end of the day, it's just people helping people. Because of COVID, we're really now living 2030 and 2021. You know, we have proved to ourselves that we can meet virtually. But, you know, were we prepared to do it? We probably weren't. But I think because, and you understand this with cityCURRENT, we know how to do community. We know how to help people connect and engage and help others grow. And so really, this is a virtual platform that is really put out there to help organizations grow, not only internally, but help them run more efficiently so they grow externally as well.
Yeah, and there's a lot of functionality to it. We'll talk about that. But I think when you look at schools being able to connect with their students, their alumni, to engage in mentorship, and obviously a lot of connectivity there. When you look at nonprofits and the ability to connect with donors and the constituents they serve, when you look at businesses being able to create subgroups and all these different connection points, it really is, to your point, it's a virtual platform built around people helping people, connecting people to collaborate and really in an efficient way and a trackable way, set up meetings, set up Zooms, do all these things in a fully integrated platform that gives you transparency, but accountability. And so
that's right.
Dive into some of your favorite parts of UpSquad. When you're talking about kind of what puts a smile on your face, what are some of those components that put a smile on your face for UpSquad?
This has been such a quick transition for me. I have just met them and we knew immediately it was a fit. It was love at first sight. I mean, I knew that I wanted to work with these guys. So Vinky and Derek are my partners in this, and they are the ones who have really developed this and grown this thing, and they brought me on board just recently. And so I have never been so excited about anything in my career as I am this. And it shows. I'm just like tickled pink that I get to do this. And I told them, I said, I'm honored you chose me. So I think it really starts with the culture. I feel like I'm able to completely be myself with them and share with them a lot of ideas too that I have, you know, bringing my career experience into this with prospecting and having a methodical system to selling, and really start to see this thing take off to new levels. And, you know, the thing that caught my attention in the very beginning was this Zoom on steroids aspect that it has. Because we're a reseller of Zoom, there's not a limited number of meetings or features that it's all in one. So you can have meetings online, people can connect online. You can have your video resumes online. So if you're a student and you're wanting to find a job, you can connect with others who have made themselves available. So one of the other features I love so much is it's got a Facebook feel. It's got a Zoom aspect. It's got a LinkedIn aspect of it as well. So the thing that I like about that is it's a network of networks. Well, so is LinkedIn, but what it isn't is it's not a place for you to just go and like one way talk to your audience. It gives you the capability to connect with people who have opened up their calendar and said, yes, you can connect with me. I'm willing to help you in whatever it is that you need help with. So it is set up for people to help people grow. It's awesome.
Yeah, very well said. And you can put in your schedule, your availability, so that way people can see it on the front end. You can put what sort of things that you are good at and can help people with. So it's really neat. And I like how you said it's kind of a network of networks and it's on steroids for Zoom. Like there's so many cool pieces to it.
Yeah, it's like match.com for mentoring.
Yeah. You're just rolling right off the tongue.
That's right.
Give us a little bit, because as you alluded for your vantage point, Derek and Vinky have a really cool story in launching UpSquad and all the processes and time and effort and really kind of benchmarking that went in on the front end to create this, and looking at needs assessment. And then you're stepping on now in a new role, but bringing your obviously wealth of experience. And so talk about that kind of cool marriage of sorts on the professional side, where you're bringing your skill sets, your experience, and really also too, your ability to build out a sales team and management structure into this entity that is rapidly growing as a fast startup.
It is a fast growing startup. And so that opportunity to bring in my sales experience in order to create it, like I told Derek the other day, I said, congratulations, you have a new division of your business now. We have a sales division for our company. And so that's the way that I get to, with their help and their direction, I get to create this. And to me, that's super exciting because, I always talk about sales and I've been in sales now for almost 20 years. And so I have some experience in prospecting, but it's really it's like what we're all familiar with: dating, engagement, and marriage. You've got to date your prospects, and you can't just call your prospects. You got to find out what they like and when they like to be called, and do they like social media? Do they like emails? Do they like text message? There's all these various ways you've got to learn your prospects and what makes them tick. And when you finally get to engage them, you better keep them there if you want to marry them. And then you got to marry them, because guess what? Your best client is your competitor's best prospect. So it's this cycle of always constantly learning the psychology of who it is you're trying to do business with. And as I'm learning with Derek and Vinky, they have such a heart for helping people that I'm already seeing this does not feel like sales. It feels like we're bringing a solution to organizations who are frustrated, going, we have all these different communications and they're siloed and people are trying to engage virtually. And you know what? Let me just say on that aspect, virtual will never take the place of face-to-face. So that's not what we're trying to do. Virtual allows for others to be included who may not have an opportunity to have been included. It allows for organizations like cityCURRENT to reach more people, and in turn, say you have an organization that is spread out even over the city, and it allows them to engage in a way that they may not be able to do otherwise. So with UpSquad, you have an opportunity to keep engagement within your community.
Yeah. I want to carry that forward, but I want to jump back to something before, because I think it's just kind of a cool thing for listeners. Is you mentioned, hey, congratulations, you have a new division of your company. And I think for entrepreneurs, especially who are looking to grow their company and expand, but to bring on somebody as a sales manager, because that's a really important role to get right. Mm-hmm. Give us, from your vantage point, stepping in, a couple of the main things that are your starting point in terms of your to-do list. Like, what are some of the top things that you're trying to put in place, that you're focused on? When you look at 30, 60, 90 days out and beyond, what are the top things that you're focused on in terms of building out the division, building out the framework to have a sales department, so to speak, for a startup company?
That's right. It's exciting you asked that, because that's currently exactly what I'm working on. So one of the tools that I like to use is a good CRM system in order to keep everything organized and running and run reports. But CRM systems are really just like as good as any other type of technology or communication you might be using to track data. It's only as good as the person using it. So I've always said good salespeople are not necessarily people. I love people. I love being with my people, but I do fine being at home by myself behind a computer, but I have to follow a system or else you won't see the results. So for me, laying the groundwork for a good CRM. So we've got that in place now, and we've started. I've loaded some names and contacts and some prospects, and and taking the time to make sure that they at least fit. You need to make sure that they fit the description of who a good client would be, because a lot of us salespeople will spin our wheels thinking everybody needs this, and that's not really the case. There's a fit for everybody, and it may not be a fit for everybody, even though we think it should be. But salespeople are usually pretty money motivated too. I have some really exciting goals of where we all want this business to go. And so in order to do that, I have to back into those numbers. How many calls is it going to take to get a meeting? How many meetings is it going to take to get a sale? How many sales do we need to take to hit our monthly, quarterly, annual goal? And so those are things that I'm putting together as we speak, actually. So it's perfect timing.
Well, but I think it's cool to get that vantage point of, especially like I said, for an entrepreneur who says, hey, I know I need this, but like, where do I begin? What should those first steps be? And for someone who's stepping into that new sales management role, what are the things they need to be thinking about? And like you said, a good CRM strategy and structure and platform is really important. And then, like you said, the incentives and the metrics and knowing those, and then you get into obviously the marketing collateral and some of those pieces, but knowing who a good prospect is and kind of identifying that and a good client, all of those are really important ingredients so that you're not just spinning your wheels. So really good advice.
That's true. And let me say this too. If if you're looking for a salesperson for your team, because companies are growing right now, people are starting to open back their doors. If you're looking to add someone on for business development or sales, there's a lot of salespeople out there. And a lot of people think, and this kind of touches back on what we were talking about earlier, that it must be the most outgoing person who might be the best salesperson. And that's not always the case. You really got to have someone who's going to be honest about what they're doing. They're open-minded to learn new ways of doing it. And they're willing to, like I've had to do this week, stumble on what I don't know and share I did a demo for the co-founders today. And I said, how does it feel for me to botch up your baby? Because I'm not going to do it perfectly. I'm never going to do it perfectly. So I have to remember that we're just people trying to help people, Yeah,
very, very well said. And that's great advice. And I like the fact of, like you said, it's not the most outgoing person. It's about building relationships. Who can build relationships effectively? Who's trustworthy? Who can be there when you need them? And so all of those relationship building components are so important when you talk about finding a good salesperson to represent your company and ultimately have success. Carry that forward into when you look at, who makes a good client, a good prospect for UpSquad, because I mentioned on the front end, there's so many different ways organizations can use it, whether it's churches, nonprofits, schools, businesses, professional organizations. There's so many different ways, but give us a little bit of an illustration of the different ways that people can use it, right?
Sure, absolutely. So you mentioned, you did. You mentioned several of them. So I would say a few of the target markets that we have on our list right now that we're currently working with are nonprofits are huge. And universities, education, K through 12. We are working with an accelerator program. We've got organizations, even leadership organizations. So anywhere you have an organization or a community where you have people learning how to be better, and they need to connect with people who are willing to give. So you've got the givers and you've got the givees. So, I was even on a call earlier today with, we were on a Zoom call with my father, and he has a leadership organization that helps people grow in their business. And so he wants to use this in order to not only have everything in one place. So for efficiency purposes, it can work for any organization because it takes all these different siloed communications and puts them into one. There's a one-stop shop solution. I am so tired of logins. I would love to just have one login, but he wants to use it for, helping, the guys that have already gone through the class to connect with the guys that are going through the class. So, You've got nonprofits who are looking to, streamline things more efficiently. Nonprofits are looking to engage the people that are involved in their organization. So whether that is people that are supporting the organization, the members who they support, or the faculty and staff that are actually working for the nonprofit. So there's various ways in which you can use this, but regardless, it's going to help make things more efficient and run better.
Yeah. And I like the way you said it. It's one login. So you're not having to log into 30 different platforms, and everything is fully integrated into one place. So all of these, data points, the ability to post, events and bulletins and all these things, to set up meetings, to have the Zoom events, to have Zoom meetings. I mean, everything is in one place to really allow for a turnkey solution for organizations to connect, collaborate, share information, and ultimately engage. And like you said, build these relationships in new, powerful ways.
That's right.
And, wrap up on your end with contact information. So website, social media, your email, where do people go to learn more about UpSquad?
Yeah, we can be found anywhere. So upsquad.com. And of course, we're all over social media and YouTube. And you can contact me, Kellie at UpSquad, Kellie, Kellie at UpSquad. And we are actually headquartered out of the Cruz Center for Entrepreneurship at the University of Memphis. So currently housed there at the University of Memphis, right here in Memphis. So, but this is stretching. I love it being a Memphis-based technology company. Memphis doesn't get the Silicon Valley look like we should. We are growing technologically. It is amazing. It really is. And so, I am thrilled to be here. This was such a blessing. And I just can't thank you enough for allowing me to come and be brand new and share with you what all is going on, because a lot of the stuff that's going on, I'm still learning. But I do know that I was so excited to find out that UpSquad is a cityCURRENT member, because if there's one thing I know I believe in, it is cityCURRENT. So I cannot wait to come back to the next breakfast and reconnect with old friends and whatnot.
Absolutely. Well, we love you, Kellie, and we love UpSquad. And as you mentioned, a partner as well in cityCURRENT. And it is one of those when you look at being Memphis based, but the reality is being a technology platform, any organization around the world can leverage UpSquad. So it's really neat to be able to see the true potential to create change that Memphis has, and obviously UpSquad has, and you and your team as well. So Kellie Turnage, thank you for all you do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeremy.